What is up, my fellow tree lover? Hey, I'm Matt Latham, Board Certified Master Arborist and Registered Consulting Arborist with the American Society of Consulting Arborists. Those are those guys in the International Society up there. Those are a couple trees we got registered as historic to preserve them because people wanted to remove them. That's not cool. They're great trees. So anyways, hey, we're here with Ask an Arborist live Q&A, and I'm so glad you made it here. So glad you joined this group. We are here in the business of just helping you to make good decisions about your trees. My little company, arboristondemand.com, was started back in 2018. And essentially, I realized very quickly, if doctors can do telemedicine, and actually you don't ever get the doctor, you get the nurse practitioner typically, or the registered nurse. If they can do it, if the medical industry can do it, why can't we do it with your trees? And here's what I found is 9 times out of 10, literally, that's about the number is. It was like 92%. It's what I came up with when I was crunching numbers, I don't know, years ago. We realized 92% of the time we could figure out what was going on and start getting the person going in the right direction, so their trees are growing and thriving and living and happy. And so we wanted to bring that service to you guys. I know there's so many people out there that have so many questions about trees, and quite frankly, the information out there is questionable and at best and sketchy at worst. And so unfortunately, if you hire a guy to come in, or you have a guy come in and provide you a free estimate, they are there to sell you a service. So what I found is maybe 60-70% of the tree care companies out there are actually tree unalivement companies out there. They're in the business of removing trees, but you love your trees, don't you? And that's why you're here. And so we want to help you preserve them and make the right decision regarding your trees, because trees are great. Trees bring so many benefits to us humans. But if they're falling on our house, no good. If they're producing bad things for us, no good. If they prevent a structural or a health risk for us, that's no good. So we need to get those trees healthy and thriving. And so that's what we're here to do, is teach you about your trees. Many of you have posted some awesome questions on our Facebook group. And let's check them out here. We've got, on average, we are growing right now at around 160 to 210 new people every single week. So we started this about 10, 12 months ago now, somewhere in there. And the goal was basically just provide a nice little forum where you can essentially come in here and ask your good questions, and you get good, solid, science-backed answers that you can trust to make good decisions with your trees. Because, like I said, trees become part of the family. I stopped referring to them as like your tree outside, and more referring to them nowadays as like your green pet. And that's what they become. We raise our kids underneath them. We shade our houses underneath them. Sometimes they even give us food, y'all. That's cool. So anyways, I wanted to go over a couple of little housekeeping things here. You'll notice in our group, and here I am over here, we've got a new section that I am adding, and I hope this is exciting to you. This is really exciting to me. I was modeling it. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Mold support group. There's a guy that has helped me out. His name is Matt Kelly, and he is a very, very good mold consultant. You can look him up online. He's easy to find, Matt Kelly. But let's see, mold. I don't even know how to use Facebook, y'all. There we go. Oh, I don't think I'm, I got to fix this. Hold on, you guys. I got to send this over to our Facebook group too. Oh, looks like we're live right now. Yay. All right, let's share this over to the Ask an Arborist group as well. If you haven't guessed, I'm not that good with technology, y'all. I'm a great arborist. I think so anyways. Humble opinion. I'm biased. And there you have it. We're on all the avenues that we broadcast on. Now, right now, we're sending it to YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. So we cross post this over across multiple places. So let's check it out. Okay, so we've got that going. But I noticed this guy Matt Kelly. He runs this group, Toxic Mold Answers Functional Medicine Methodology. He's a mold consultant, and he helped me and my family out tremendously. So if you're having mold problems, I highly recommend just go out there and peruse on it, because this is a whole movement. There's a whole culture that's being developed around these toxic mold issues. I think there's some really bad practices, and that goes along with the toxic world in general. Well, guess what, y'all? Trees actually absorb toxins, so that's just one little snippet there. But I noticed he's got a guide section, and I was really excited to find this, because I realized, shoot, what we need is a little organization in this group. We need to discuss all these problems and be able to reference some really good problems that y'all constantly have. Like a lot of the ones that we see most of the time are things that you'll probably see today is we see a lot of posts about trees that are planted poorly, that they're struggling, and they are never going to succeed because they're planted so poorly. So if you notice here, I was busy last night or the day before, and just blasting out all these videos that I was making. And yeah, last night. And actually, I shot a lot of these videos the day before, all of them, in fact. Finally got around to editing, but you can see here we're going over various different diseases. There's hypoxylin here. There is fall webworms here. And so we've got them organized over here in the, if you go to the top, over here in the guides section. So if you ever have a question about your tree and you think maybe it's a specific pest, go on here and just look up your particular disease that you think it is. So like oak wilt. Oak wilt is a really big one, and we see it all the time, but it's often misdiagnosed. Hypoxylin, actually, I see hypoxylin more than I see oak wilt on a regular basis. What's that? Do y'all ever see the movie Sixth Sense? I see unalived people. They're everywhere. I see like unalived tree limbs. They're everywhere. So there's a lot of things out there. Fall webworms. But let me show you the collective list that I'm putting together here. Is I've got a whole list of like 50 different things that we're going to be talking about and setting up a good solid education base. So I'm doing this just to be a great resource for you to come in there and really take a look at your tree and be able to educate yourself. Also, we want to be able to reference these things. So anyways, hope that helps. And let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to start from the top down. My right-hand man has not called me back yet. He's in the process of dealing with some family emergency stuff of his. So I am a little disorganized today, but that's okay. We're going to have some fun anyways. So stick with me here. Let's get right into it. We got John Hyber is saying, hi, I'm new to the group, looking to grab some information. Never realized how bad is till the other day. Is this Phytophthora, bleeding canker? Hey, that's a great question. We're going to do a video on Phytophthora too, by the way, over in that guide section. That's one I see all the time. Well, first of all, let's see. Ohio. So he's in Ohio. Is there any saving this tree, or is it beyond repair? Life left on it. I believe this is a male mulberry, and any help would be appreciated. Let's check it out, John, excuse me. All right. Oops, I need to do this too. Like I said, Lucas is not here. You're killing me, Lucas. Please call me. I love you, man. Don't leave me be. Don't leave me stranded. Tree of heaven or hell? Okay, so we need to mute this faux show. I'm gonna bring this over here, you guys. Sorry for the tech errors and issues here, but we're going to get through this together, you guys. We're going to have some fun doing it too. So, all right. So I've got a good link here. I'm going to go ahead and all right. So, John, we're talking about your tree. I know you just posted this. So, we got a male mulberry tree. To me, that's either going to be bacterial wetwood or slime flux, or it could, I think that's going to be bacterial wetwood. The real determining factor, here's what you need to check for, John. Does it have a distinct, like, nasty smell? Is it like rancid smelling? Because to me, it looks like bacterial wetwood. It's possible it could be Phytophthora, but I really don't think so, based on what I'm seeing. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty, y'all. Yeah, John, I think you got bacterial wetwood. Here's the thing is hey, what's up, Sprouting Arborist? Hey, by the way, so Sprouting Arborist, I wanted to let you know, man, I got your emails. I'm sorry, I've been slammed. I had a mortality case come through where a tree limb fell and unalived a guy. So they've got some deadlines. I've been really like sucked down into my whatever I'm doing in life. Just really trying to hammer this thing out. We've got till next Wednesday to get the full report sent over. And man, it's just been taking me a minute. So I'm sorry. I haven't not forgotten about you though, Sprout. I'll get back to you here shortly. Maybe tomorrow afternoon at the latest. I'll try to handle some emails that I'm slacking on and get to yours as well. I saw you called, or not called, but I saw you emailed and I saw you reached out on my website. So, dude, I'm so sorry. You've been loyal to me. I'm being a flake to you. Okay, so John, you've got bacterial wetwood, I think. I don't think this is anything to be afraid of, but it's certainly worth doing some things to just improve the overall health. Let me go ahead and give you a couple products that'll help, because here's the thing. It might actually make it worse to begin with, but these bacteria that I'm going to tell you about are actually heterotrophic, which means basically means like they eat anything except for themselves. Mostly nitrogen and phosphorus sources, but that, by the way, is fungus and bacteria. So this is a really, really, really cool solution. So humates, by the way, humic acid or humates are essentially, it's like compost that's recomposted. Think of it like compost tea. You might have heard that term. But essentially what it does is it's going to create a perfect breeding ground for beneficial bacteria, or beneficial fungus rather. So use this in the soil. That's going to really, really help out a lot. Where are you at? There you are. What's up, John? I gotta get rid of this. But that's the test you're gonna do. You want to smell it. I know that's weird. Like, tree guys are weird. I'm good with that. I'll live up to that. I'll own it. But smell it. If it smells just really funky, you'll be able to tell. I promise. Then you've got bacterial wetwood, or slime flux is another word for it. Very simple to cure, actually. This heterotrophic bacteria is going to help tremendously. There's a tree joke in there too. But you want to make sure you mix it with a good quality cooking or blackstrap molasses. That's going to be really important, because all of those that are in that liquid AF are actually they're bacteria, and so they're living biotic organisms. This is a biological treatment, is what we would call it. And so what that does, the sugar in the molasses actually is going to feed those microbes, which in turn will create a healthy environment for the beneficials there. So what you want to do is just spray that right on the wounds. That will help. It's not going to be the cure-all. It's not going to be the end-all be-all, but that'll help to suppress that. The other thing you want to do is you might, if it gets bad enough, oxytetracycline, OTC. Where's all my comments? Where'd they go? That's why I can't be trusted with technology, y'all. There we go. All right, John. Well, I appreciate your question here. Oh yeah. So Shem is, by the way, Shem is a phenomenal arborist. He's a there. We're the Texas ISA chapter's meeting for their annual conference this weekend. Unfortunately, I can't make it. My wife is dealing with some health issues, and I got to manage the kiddos while she's down and out for the count. So, anyways, it's a labor of love, but. Yeah, I'm not able to make it there, but I had a friend of mine that's there that sent me a text message. He said there's around 1,400 BCMAs across the globe. Well, that's not a lot if you're a mathematician. There's 8 billion people on the planet, and 1,400 BCMAs means there's not a lot of really top-notch professionals. Well, guess what? Shem is one of those. So you're getting some rock-solid advice. It's a bacterial infection of some sort. It could be benign bacterial wetwood, or the more sinister Phytophthora. He's right to say that. Benign is the right word. Bacterial wetwood is not that big a deal. I don't see Phytophthora, but it's possible. Here's one thing you could do, John, is you could go to your local ag extension, and you can just find their contact information on this little blog I wrote. But that'll get you pointed in the right direction. You can send them a sample, but keep it simple, man. If it has a smell, okay. If it has a strong smell of alcohol, then it can be assumed it is bacterial wetwood. I agree. Well done, Shem. You're awesome as always, man. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being just a great addition to this industry. All right, so Sprouting Arborist is asking a question. Where you at, Sprouting? A couple days ago, I saw like 3 huge bright white mushrooms on a maple tree, box elder, or Norway. Oh yeah. And the mushroom had wavy edges. It gave me shivers of, I don't even know the words for it, down my spine. I get that, Ed. What's that? I see, you got to see, I know you're young. You got to see that movie Sixth Sense, and you'll get the reference here. But I see dead or unalived trees. They're everywhere. We have a joke in the industry. Well, that tree's unalived, but it just hasn't unalived yet. That means the tree's in decline. Nothing we could do. Everything, all of our best efforts are not going to be sufficient enough. So. Anyways, yeah, I totally get that, man. I actually fell in a pool maybe like a year ago. I was watching, I saw like the biggest clump of mistletoe in a tree in my client's neighbor's yard, actually. And I was like pointing up, I was like, hey, dude, check that out. And I just walking, and then bloop, right in the pool. Destroyed my phone, destroyed my wallet and all the contents. My wife says I got my head in the trees. I think that's accurate. All right, so Brady McDaniel's asking, can I ID this thing? Thank you. I don't know what that is. Hold on. It's not really an ID site. The thing about Tree ID is there's 27,000 different varieties of trees, and up to 3 to 5 variations of each one of those too. So you're talking like 100,000 plus or minus different tree varieties. And man, that's just not, I don't have them all memorized. I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. And if you can't deal with it, that stinks. I'm sorry. I love that question. I'll like go to a client's house and they're like, well, you don't know. I'm like, well, you don't know. I mean, no, I shouldn't be expected to know every single tree on the planet. But what we can do is we can use some technology to help us find out. So I'm going to let that sit for a while. Chat GPT is thinking about it. And here we go. Tree ID. Let's see what that is. I'll tell you, you do have some other problems going on here, Brady, but opposite leaves, honeysuckle, bright red berries, shrubby growth, bush honeysuckle. Let's see. That's what mine is saying, but I don't know that I believe that. Give me 1 second here, buddy. I'm gonna do a little research. Actually, I kind of do believe that. Okay, yeah. Oh, finally, Lucas decides to get off his. Hey, what's up, lazy? Oh, what's up, Lucas? I said lazy. My bad, dude. I'm messing with you. I'm totally messing with you. We're doing. I am too, man. That's why I'm sitting here on a chair instead of in a tree. All right. Well, we're live on the air. Lucas, we're live. We're live. No, 4 o'clock, 4 to 6. That's why I was trying to get you on the phone. You were so busy talking. I was like, call me back ASAP. Yeah, we're live, dude. I got it shared and everything. Y'all, just so you know, too, Lucas just called me. He's working on some technology for me, and he's crushing it. And I think he got it solved, is what I'm hearing. Is that right? You got it solved? Oh, yeah. That's right. I'm supposed to. I don't think I have the ability to do that right now. I don't want to figure it out either. Add. No. Yeah, we're going to get this next time where Lucas is actually at 8. I said so. Just for those of you watching, we got like 4 people online. Lucas, we kind of changed up the timing, and we've been talking about doing this for a while now, but we changed it up on him, and I haven't been able to talk to him all day. And so he's like, "What? You're live right now?" So he's logging on. We actually talked about him being a part of this. That way we can switch over to him when he needs to jump in. That way I'm not like just stopping every now and then and like listening to what Lucas is saying, because I have zero ability to multitask. That's what we're doing from now on. You're on speakerphone.
All right. Hello, everyone, if you can hear me.
Hello, world. If you can hear Lucas, that's him on the other line. He's my right-hand man and keeps me sane and organized and stuff. So
all right, I got to scroll down. Do you remember where we left off?
Yeah, no, I was just going from the top down while I waited on you. I was really hoping you'd get here. And here you are.
Sorry. Man, I didn't even tag any of the top ones. I don't know how long you've been on.
I bet
22 minutes.
Yeah.
Man, those people up in the top could be upset.
They'll figure it out. I tagged one of them. Actually, I sent the link and the timestamp. The other one I didn't get to this pine here, the black stuff. Can someone tell me why my pine trees are turning black? Yeah, because it's nature, bro. They're not going to be like whitewashed. That's the snarky response. The appropriate response is it's probably sooty mold growing on the bark. That's all. You got a little bugs defecating, taking care of their business all over the things. And then the mold grows on that. So it's just a mold. Very, very, very normal. Not a big deal. If it gets overwhelming for the tree, like if it covers it too much, it can block gas exchange on the branches and the leaves and the trunk. But it's really not a big deal. Okay, so you saw that, right? We're on anonymous participant.
I was scrolling down to the bottom, but I am looking down. I got another page running up to your participant anonymous. So this is after your main videos, right?
Yeah. And I spent probably a good 5-10 minutes talking about some of the updates and all that too. So that kills a little bit of time.
Take care of Jacob Blessing.
No, we've been to John Hybar. We went to Brady McDaniel has a bush honey. Bush honeysuckle. Hey, for once on my own page, I'm like the first. Hey, that's Lucas, JK. Hey, what's up? Glad to have you here. Thanks so much for being on.
Hey, welcome.
You can finally hear him.
Hi, Jay. How you doing?
I don't know if you can understand that, but he said hi.
Yeah, we're using the mic of a mic. My mic's not working yet.
Super high quality stuff. This is like, love it.
So I'll start marking from Brady McDaniels, and later after we get through with this, I'll go back and find the timestamps for the other ones that you missed.
Thank you, Lucas. You're the best.
I try.
Joined Facebook 19 years ago. Probably not a scammer.
The new project is going to be running pretty strong. Yeah, the
Our
data
new
that it pulled was
you and I's our robot love child.
That we were able to get it to upload all in that Airtable. I was
Yes, we need
My hand
to
last
go
night.
over that extensively later, actually. Sorry, we're having a business meeting. I hope you guys don't mind.
I'm just excited about it because,
Yeah, so Lucas is like a bona fide genius, at least 160 IQ minimum, I'd say. Just based on what I know about him. And he and I have a robot love child that we made, mostly Lucas. He did all the carrying and conception and all, I'm getting weird on you guys. Sorry. The basically a robot that goes out and markets to a lot of lawyers and things like that. Because I do a lot of expert witness litigation type work. And that's really like, I love talking to you guys. Don't get me wrong. But what I really like is slaying dragons. And so let me just pull up one file. This is crazy.
Yeah, if I could share, if I had the ability to share that early to see the information pool, even pull Instagram information, which have the images and stuff like that. That was really cool.
You guys want to know how to stop unaliving trees? Well, one way is to stop suing each other over trees. This is one file, guys. We actually won, which is really exciting to me because this is tree and plant appraisal qualification. Yeah, that's a big legal. It's not that big, actually. That's actually pretty small. So there's a guy on here. I'm not going to tell you which one it is on the advisory committee. And that case that you saw, I hope you didn't see any details. It's closed, so it's probably fine. But there's no chance of appeals or anything. But the guy that wrote this book, my appraisal beat his out in a court of law. So I love doing stuff like that. Yes, expert witness. I do legal work on an expert level. It's fun to me. I really enjoy it because what winds up happening is I have to become an expert, hence the term, in whatever it is that I happen to be doing. And so yeah, actually, yo, JK, I totally get that. Not only that, but I realized I don't want to go to school for 6 to 8 years. And so I wanted to be a brain surgeon, actually. And instead, I got to be a tree surgeon, I guess. It's not the same, but man, chainsaws are great therapy. I don't know about scalpels. Like, that sounds boring to me at this point. But yeah, no, I'm actually, so there are 2 guys on this planet that are registered consulting arborists. That's that one certificate I have up here. And also that are so board certified master arborist, registered consulting arborist, and ESQ, so attorneys. And I think it would be really fun to be number 3. Also, who wants to spend the next 5 years in school? I don't. I'm busy, y'all. Like, I'm so busy I can hardly handle these live streams, guys. But really enjoy it anyways. Okay, so let's get back into it. JK, glad to have you here. Sprout, same thing. And I will return your email. I'm so sorry, dude. I just had this big case come across my desk, and it has to do with a guy getting unalived from a tree falling on him, tree branch, so out of state and all that. So it's a big thing, and I had to kind of jump and move quick on that. But anyways, we're moving on to Jacob. What's up, Lucas?
No. I was just checking my mic, trying to get that thing to work.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
No, all good.
I forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember that I'm actually being heard now.
Anything you say and do can be held against you in a court of Matt.
So we're on Brady McDaniel.
No, we're on Jacob Glessing. It's 3 or 4 down. That to me looks like a laurel oak. I could be. Yeah, that looks. No, maybe not. What kind of tree are you?
That's young.
Elm? Surely it's not an elm. No, that's bipinnate. Okay. Man, that Galaxy S24 Ultra. I'm actually looking at possibly getting that phone.
I love my phone. It's awesome.
Really high quality photos too.
Mm-hmm. 100. It's 12. Was it 100 megapixels or something like that? 100 times zoom. Yeah, I think it's 24 megapixels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh man, those branches
1,897.
get pretty big if it's coming from like a pecan or something.
It's not a pecan. No, I was looking at that. I'm thinking like maybe a honey locust or a black locust of some sort. Oh yes, look at that. Okay, Gladicia triacanthos. Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Is some sort of locust. I'm seeing the same thing. Okay, trunk damage, species, trunk damage, time of year to prune. Best time of year is generally in the winter, not always, but general. If you've got a limb that's about to pop out. Oh, what's up, Sprouting? I didn't even see you there, man. I couldn't imagine a guy unaliving. It was a couple of years ago, but it's still like, somebody lost their husband. Somebody lost their dad and grandfather in the court of cool. That's so cool. Lucas is one of them cool folk. I agree. That's why I keep you around, buddy. Yeah, honey locust. Best time to prune is going to be in the winter-ish. Low-hanging limbs reaching toward the corner where the wood fence and chain link fence are. I'd like this whole limb to come off because of how low it is. Pruning large branches and limbs. Should I use pruning seal? No, don't use pruning seal. Will the tree unalive if I trim too much? No, not necessarily, but it could definitely add some stress to it. That's honey locust. That's awesome. Yeah, Gladitsia, I don't know. Triacanthos. Larger cuts are not healthy for the tree. Yo, you got some great advice in here. I do not recommend removing the full limb, but an overall weight reduction in structural plan. Okay, so what he's asking about, let's go ahead and just take a look at this real quick because this is a really good use case scenario. So he wants to remove this limb right here, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and pop this over into the paint of view. That's not right. Paint. That's what I need. I'm just going to give it to you straight. The more leaves on this that it has, the better off you're going to be. So I would absolutely not. I would not remove that lower limb. What I would do, you're going to want to do reduction pruning on this. And that is a really, really easy thing to do. So what I would do is very simply, let's see if I got, oops, that's not what I want. I need actual paintbrush, and I need actual red, and I need actual size. Okay, so I would make this cut. I would do something here maybe to reduce that limb. And then you've got these 1, 2, and then this one goes straight up. What I would do is actually reduce that back to here and then possibly consider these little epicormic sprouts. And then maybe if I'm feeling really fancy and free, make that little pruning wound there. And then these guys, you can just snip them up a little bit. Just raise those a tiny, tiny bit. That's going to help to get it more functional with the property and really give you a better shot of keeping that tree healthy and thriving. Because quite frankly, that's a cool tree. Like don't mess with it too much if you can avoid it. But here's your still frame. I didn't suggest flush cuts. Sprouting arborist. How dare you accuse me? Yeah, but I agree. No flush cuts. Yeah, you're best off getting a really, really good arborist that knows what they're doing. Somebody who's a what is it, owner operator. So the big companies are fine. They usually have good training. But no, I'm just messing with you, buddy. I would never flush cut a tree. I chew people out all the time for that. Would any of those branches be great for a tire swing? Ooh, that's a really good. Oh, yes. Oh, so much yes. Yep. I would put it right here, JK. I think. Or what I might do is run it there and then run the rope over here all the way down. So that way you've got the limb is isolated. All the forces go down that direction and you've got so much swing there. Whee! I got some videos. One of these days I'll post.
Would you on the branch that's actually getting the swing? Would you actually reinforce it with cabling or anything like that?
I don't think it needs it. I think if you put the branch, here, or the rope here, and then run that rope through this branch union, oh my goodness, that's going to be so strong, because all of those forces are going down the length of the stem. That's where trees are strongest. You can't crush a limb lengthwise. It's just, it takes too much pressure. But what you can do is break it. So the reason I do that is if I put the limb here, if I put the rope here and just tied it here, well, now all of that force is going right on this limb. And I see, just not saying this is the breaking point, but I see it was removed, a big limb there. You've got kind of a bulge in that area. And so that's going to be maybe a structural weakness. So the reason I would run it here and then run the rope through there is because that's all those forces are going, we call it force vectors, vector forces. Force vectors vector is like the angle in the middle. So if you've got a branch here and the rope angle is right here, it's going to be pulling this way. That's really a weak point on the tree. If you've got it here and there's a rope coming over here down to here, now you've reoriented those forces down the length of the stem. That's going to be a really, really strong point. So no, I would not remove that whole limb. I think that's going to be detrimental to that tree, or maybe not detrimental. Maybe it's just going to set it up for failure long-term and stress it out. So beautiful tree though, man. You've got a real gem on your hands there, Jacob. Those honey locusts don't get that big very often, especially in a backyard. So moving on. Hello, I have just 3 25 to 30 foot sycamore trees replaced by a local company. Replaced? What happened? Those are big trees planted. Owner recommended a watering schedule 1 hour a day, 3 times a week. However, my previous experience with this approach resulted in the trees unaliving. Consequently, I've decided to use soaker lines, but I am uncertain about the optimal watering time. Do you have any advice on this matter? I do, actually. You have to give a tree like that a good soaking daily for at least a month or 2. No, you don't. That's not true, Bob.
Watering. Let's drown it. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, wow. You know, if you look at those 3 pictures he sent, in like from the fullest to the middle to that last, that's what overwatering does.
What's up? What's that, Lucas?
I was commenting on that tree. You know, he said that he's been watering it daily. Or was that what?
No, he's saying 3 times a week is what the schedule is. What is that black stuff on that? It looks like some sort of a adventurous pomegranate. What a great name. All right, so okay, so you've got some sort of wrapping there. I was like, is that a fungus? I was confused for a minute there. I actually prefer the soaker hose method. Let me give you a couple videos that'll help you really get it established pretty good. That's going to be really important, is that you dry out the soil prior to re-irrigating there. Mysterious, adventurous pomegranate. Yeah, I think they put down too much molt. Yeah, exactly. You guys are getting it. Root flares buried. It's probably a deer fence or something. I think that's right. Especially those sycamores are going to have a really thin bark. All right, so this guy is what we want. Shareable link.
So JK says that might be a lawnmower protector.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, or deer. Sprouting arborist said deer. I've seen that up in like New Jersey, Pennsylvania area actually.
It looks like a mesh, really.
Yeah.
You can see the bark underneath it. It doesn't look like it's like a solid.
All right, so this is going to help you just get the water moving away from that. What you want to do is, Miss Pomegranate, is you want to water the tree. That's true, but you want to make sure the water is draining. And if you've got a high clay soil, it's going to push that water back into the planting hole. We call it the teacup effect. That's too funny. I've seen a guy riding a lawnmower just accidentally deck himself on a tree before. I actually rolled one into a pond once years and years and years ago. That was cool. And also we got it out. It wound up being cool. So yeah, the main thing is you want to be proactive about it. Don't just set your irrigation system on go and hope for the best. Like, be proactive about it. So here's what I'm going to suggest too is check out this video on doing the screwdriver test, and that'll help give you a pretty good idea of how much to water. You want to make sure that it's draining and drying out prior to re-irrigating. The thing is, you have to get it used to the new planting site, and the best way to do that is not overwater. So bad. I don't know what that is. Okay, so yeah, do those things. The other thing is I'll recommend this Humates Plus. That's going to be super helpful in getting the tree established very quickly. It's going to increase the rooting mass and increase the beneficial fungus that are on there, and really start to establish those roots really, really nicely. But yeah, I would actually water less than more. Usually, not always. Cool. All right. Can you tell me about this white stuff on our forsythia bush from Donna La Rosa in New York? Thank you. So that is scale, most deaf. I don't know what kind though. For crepe myrtles, we use like horticultural oil. We can use like imidacloprid as well. To me, a locust is just a large annoying grasshopper. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say different number of chromosomes. No, tell us, Sprout. You're killing us. You're killing us. We're waiting with bated breath. I don't know why. Okay, so sorry, Donna, I'm getting bunny trailed here. Yeah, you've got scale. Imidacloprid is good on but I don't know exactly what kind. So it may be good to go ahead and check with your agriculture extension and find out if they can tell you exactly what it is. Imidacloprid or abamectin typically are the chemicals that are used to treat scale and mites sometimes as well. But yeah, give them a call. Find your, I think you said you're in New York. So find I can't remember who does New York. I think it's University of New York, right? New York University. No, Cornell. My bad. Cornell. Yeah. Talk to Cornell. They'll help guide you in the right direction for the specific epithet of those scale that you're dealing with, but definitely a scale issue. No doubt about that. You've just got to. So here's the thing with scale is you can't really spray the medicine on there. You can spray the horticultural oil on there because it's essentially going to suffocate them. It's going to form like a thin layer, and they cannot pass gas through there. That's a joke. I'm sorry. They can't breathe. So
after that, I believe you will be having to scroll down to a guy named Grant Menzie because we have caught up to last week.
We caught up. Yes. I knew we could do it, team. I don't recognize that. Did we do that one? Oh, yeah. Matthew's got a great name. I remember him. We already talked about that. He's got a great name. Alyssa. We talked about Alyssa's tree. What date is it?
Medicine hat AB.
What day is it?
It's September 21st.
Oh, okay. Grant. I'm looking for Grant on September 21st.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good idea. Start from the top on Tuesdays and work from the bottom on Thursdays.
Well, it's Thursday. We're supposed to be going the opposite direction, but whatever.
Yeah, but I dropped the ball. I was playing around too much with our toy.
We're gonna have to talk about that toy. I don't remember doing Denise's. Did we do Denise's? Paula Negri.
If you click on the.
Nope.
If you click on the comments, there should be.
Nope. Nothing.
Nope. Are you sure?
They're even saying in the comments, no. We caught up, sort of. We still got some like 2 weeks ago stuff to go through, JK. So sort of, we caught up from the top down. We didn't catch up from the bottom up. We're working on that. Hopefully, we'll get through it tonight. If not, then better luck next time.
Before I was going down, we had Sarah, Mike, R, Kim, Evans, Matthew Schumer.
No, I remember this tree, don't I? Yeah. Did we skip you? Oh my goodness, Denise, I'm so sorry. That's my birthday too. It's 12/26. Okay, so let's go through it real quick. Go ahead and tag this one, Lucas.
Where's Denise?
Denise, it's September 20th. Denise Paula Negria. Look on your screen.
I'm looking on my screen.
Are my arborvitae, or eastern white cedars, as they are called sometimes. They're not cedars, by the way. Totally different family. They're in the thuja family. Ever going to fill back in, replace, or wait? I have a hedge of mature arborvitae, thuja occidentalis. There you go. Northern white cedar, northern, eastern. It depends where you are. About 18 to 20 feet tall. Had a broken pipe flooded the roots in 2024. Several trees lost their midsection of foliage. Tops and bottoms are still green. The middle has stayed brown through 2025 with almost no change. Two smaller interior trees are completely unalived. A few branches still have some green tips, but most are bare in the middle section. I've seen a little bit of growth return, but not much. I've had 3 arborists look and got mixed advice. Some say leave it and let it heal, whatever that means. Trees don't heal, they seal. Oh, I said it. Others say prune and or replace. My goal is to get privacy back as fast as possible. That stinks. My questions are, after 2 growing seasons, can these brown midsections realistically green back up, or are they done? My ultimate goal is to have this look like nothing ever happened as quickly and as reasonably as possible. Ugh, that stinks. Could I have the browning trees removed and plant 8 to 10 foot replacements in the same spot without unaliving the neighboring trees? I'm having a hard time finding sizable white cedars in southwest Michigan. Does anyone know where I could find some? Are there any other cultivars that could blend almost perfectly with white cedar? This privacy hedge is very important to me, and I've attempted so far to put a plastic ivy to help with the privacy by making it look more dense at the bottom. I get that. Yeah, okay, so short answer, no. Long answer, okay, so any type of cedar or decidual, evergreen type tree. So your cedar, spruce, pine, thuja, whatever.
So, Matt,
yo,
the reason why I couldn't find it is you went down too far. You skipped Grant Menzie and Ferdo Dona, Verduzico Dona.
Operator error.
Brandon Priestwich.
My bad, guys. All right, we'll get done with this one, and then we'll get done with Denise's, and then we'll go talk about it. So yeah, long story short, Denise, no, they're not. The problem is they don't have what's called latent buds. Now, latent buds are, let's go ahead and get the whiteboard out for the first time tonight. This is exciting, you guys. So fun. So here is a trunk of a red oak, and here's a trunk of a thuja. You can't tell the difference because I'm a terrible artist. So on an oak, you've got all these different latent buds that are dormant underneath the bark. They're part of the cambium. They're there as, I call them, just in case of emergency buds. And so you've got all these different buds there. And oops, where's my lighting? There we go. See if that's better. So you've got all these different buds here. Here's the problem with your evergreen trees. They don't have that. And so what happens is once a branch or a section gets unalived, it's very, 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 very unlikely that that tissue is going to grow back. So you just have to understand that is they just don't have the same type of tissue and the ability to regenerate. So that doesn't mean they're not great trees. They're still great trees. They usually last 25, 40 years plus. I've got a litigation case in Canada, actually, of all places, that I'm working on some arborvitae. And that was the issue from the other side. The consulting arborist came in, and essentially the attorneys bought out all of the consulting arborists. So my clients are left-handed, holding the bag. So that's why they go all the way to Houston, Texas, like the furthest place you can go from Toronto. And they hired me to come in and represent them. Well, here's the problem is those don't, like the opposing counsel's report basically said, no, it's not structurally damaged. The tree's fine. It'll regrow. But what I said was that's not true because of biology, because they don't have the latent buds to be able to regenerate that tissue. So the damage done when the neighbor came over and hacked and chopped and sliced at my client's trees, that left a permanent scar. Those trees will never be the same. And they argued that it was just pruned a little heavy. It's like, no, you just destroyed every bit of value that those trees provided. And therefore, the value in a tree, according to according to two things, there's actually some universal standards for appraisals, and then we have our own industry standard for appraisals as well. Both of them say that when the functional value or the value according to the owner or the manager of the tree is lost, the value of the tree is lost. So that's just appraisals 101. And so anyways, that's just one example. And they were actually Thusha occidentalis as well. One of the arguments the guy on the opposing counsel said was, I can't go into too many details, of course, because, protect the innocent or whatever. But essentially, the opposing counsel's witness said that, well, there's no timber value out of them, really. And there's no economic or ecology value out of them because, well, deer don't eat that. That's only 20% of the deer's diet. Well, that's still 20%. Also, this ain't a tree in the forest, homie. Why are you using that to base the value off of? The value was in the privacy. The value was in the intrinsic value, the memento value. They actually had some sentimental value there as well, and in the actual real value of the tree. What does it take to replace that tree, really? And so, that's 20, 30 years of growth minimum, and so that's part of it. So, anyways, yeah, back to yours, Denise. Yes. I don't think, unfortunately, that you're going to be able to restore that. But what you can do is you can actually replace maybe half the number or 2/3 the number. It looks like you've got like 4 trees, 5, maybe try to put 3 in there this time. And that way you're not competing for nutrients nearly as much. But yeah, you absolutely can maybe replace a couple of them at a time, let them grow a little bit, and then they should fill in that gap really quickly because that's just phototropism, which is growth towards the light. So hope that helps, Denise. And I'm being told that I went the wrong direction. I would have sworn.
You went too many. You went down too many. Go up like 4.
I would have sworn.
The next place we are is Grant.
Matthew's got a great name.
Your arrangement is different from mine.
It is, yeah. That's the thing that just really drives me nuts.
I have mine, I think the latest post or something like that.
So do I, but that doesn't mean that's what happens. Yeah. Grand Menzies! Y'all, I got to take bio break real quick. Give me 1 minute and I will be right back with clean hands too. We've looked at grants, or I have. Lucas, feel free to talk to the audience.
Oh, but there he is. That's weird. So how's everybody's night tonight? Good, I hope. Broughton Arborist, how's your after school activities? You winning any medals yet? Are you the captain? They make you the captain. Captain of track team.
Sprout is?
No, that's what I was asking. Since you took a break, I was trying to drum up some conversation.
All right. So Grant, Medicine Hat in Alberta. Cool. Are these dark spots in the lower branch of my spruce male cones that didn't develop? Tree is about 70 years old and not cared for before we bought. Yep. Okay. So that's why I remember this. I could be wrong, but I think it is last year's male pollen cones. That's what I think it is. I don't see any abnormal growth here. It's not any sort of gall. It's not any sort of fungal. The tree wasn't cared for before we bought it. Okay, so yeah, I just gave him a few options on watering, and that's the main thing. Just don't water too much, Grant. I think you got a great looking tree. That's totally normal. Looks like they just didn't develop some sort of hormone deficiency or otherwise, and that's why you're seeing that weird growth like that. So hope that helps, buddy. Moving on. I'm hoping someone can help me see.
Donna, right? Is the next one.
Verusco, Donna?
Yeah.
Okay. The Verdusco, Donna? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I'm hoping someone can help me save my tree. We first had some kind of beetle on it, then we sprayed it, and they're gone now. Woohoo! For some reason, we now have flies attacking the tree. To me, it looks like it's unaliving. Any help is greatly appreciated. Okay, so that is a really old, and then somebody topped it, and then it grew back, and that's what you're left with. So that was some sort of willow, maybe, or an ash. I don't think it's ash.
Oh, it looks creepy and cool at the same time.
What's that?
I said it looks creepy and cool at the same time.
Yeah. Man, I don't really know. Then we sprayed it and now they're gone. For some reason, we now have flies attacking the tree. Where are you from, Donna? Chiefs. Kansas City? Missouri? You from Missouri? That doesn't look like Missouri that I know of anyways. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I think you got a lot going on with this tree. This is an old growth tree, and he is struggling. What I would do is try to improve the overall condition. Looks like there's a lot of water down there, Verusco. Try this stuff. The water may be too much, actually. I think what's probably going on, and I see this all the time, y'all, is they say, oh my goodness, my tree is unaliving. I got to do something quick. So they'll just start dumping a bunch of water on it and just watering it every single day. And then next thing they know is like, I don't know what happened. And this tree just died. And you're like, no, there was a lot more to it than that. So yeah, it's usually a health issue. But here's the thing is you've got a real sandy soil, it looks like. And so I'm wondering if maybe there's a salinity issue causing a hormone issue as well. But try those things out and give it a good shot. And hopefully you'll see some good results. So, all right, Brandon was asking about his unalived branch. Will cutting the branch off at the collar stop it? Does it need to be treated? And if so, what kind of bug? Green apple tree in Utah.
You made a comment on it.
I made a comment on it. Yeah. We'll just go over my comment for educational purposes. Yes, unalived, unfortunately. Here are the cuts you should make to get rid of it. I just drew kind of a quick little diagram of what you should cut. So whenever you cut, there's that question, does the top cut? Okay, so it's a 3-cut, right? So you got your final cut here, first cut on the bottom, second cut here, third cut on as the final to clean it up. So there's a question out there, and we've been going over this for years and years and years. Is it better to prune to make the top cut for your first cut on the behind the kerf on the bottom or in front of? Here's the thing: when you do it on front of the kerf, so here's your back, here's your up cut. Where's my camera? Okay, so here's the branch cut up here. Do you go behind it or in front of it? Well, when you do it in front of it, sometimes that kerf will actually hang onto the saw and it'll go down with the limb. So it's not recommended. I always say go behind it because of the physics of it. What's happening is that's pulling away from that and it's leaving that open gap. When you do it in front of it, sometimes it'll pinch that saw and take it with it. So just make sure. That's the only thing I'll caveat that is make sure that final cut there is the right direction. And then what else did we say? Oh, yeah. Never go wrong with just helping out the soil a little bit. Yep. Give it some good resources and you'll go far. So hope that helps, Brandon. We're moving on. Ray was asking, ooh, yeah, avocado tree. Yeah, I remember talking about this one, Ray. Or, no, you're David. David Ray?
I thought it was Ray David.
I thought it was Ray David, but then you click on it, it says David's post. So what's up, David? That little avocado is struggling from root root stress. My guess is too much water, but it could be drought stress as well. Sometimes, by the way, y'all, just so you know, drought stress and over irrigation stress or drowning stress can look exactly the same. So I see that all the time. They're like, well, I don't know why it looks all wilty. It must not be getting enough water. And I stick my finger down in the soil and it's like a swamp down there. And it's like, yo, you can't, like, you need to breathe, right? So does your tree. So do the roots. So we talked about it, and I didn't quite do my video on it, but I'm working on a video for a scratch test, just kind of as a demonstration for how to properly perform a scratch test on the tree. Make sure that it is that it's alive before you make final decisions of hack, chop, and slicing. So, all right, we're moving on. Anyone know what causes tree damage? Those would be sap suckers, little birds. They're going after the sap. Yep. Sap sucker. Ants, no, that's not true. Oscar Jimenez, ants feed on unalive wood, not live wood. Looks like sap sucker to me. I agree. Yeah, I don't think it's ants at all. Where'd you come up with that? Ants don't attack living tissue on trees anyways. There's only one type of thing that looks like an ant. That's Formosan termites. Formosan termites. They actually have the enzymes to break down the tree's living tissue. Otherwise, even termites won't chew on the living tissue. So, John, you got a sapsucker issue here. What you want to do is just improve the overall health of the tree. That's the main thing. You don't need to do any avicides or those avian avicide. Like, you don't need to unalive the birds. You don't need to get rid of them. They're fine. Just give the tree a little extra resources, and the birds will be a little. Yeah, humates and ocean harvest, what I'd recommend for that. The humates are just going to help to restructure the soil and improve the overall conditions in the soil, and the ocean harvest is going to actually act like a fertilizer and a biostimulant, if I can use words, at the exact same time. So, hope that helps, John. And like I said, this is always an option, you guys. I'm always happy to hop on a digital arborist consultation with y'all, and just really work on this together, and we can figure out exactly what's going on. But I think you're okay. I don't think you need it, John. I think you need a little extra TLC on those trees, and you should be fine. Now we're back to Denise's. What's up, Denise? We already talked to you. We're moving on.
Yeah. The next one should be Benjamin.
What's up, Benjamin? Thanks for being here. Chinese elm in San Antonio has dark spots around the edge of the limb, and it's drooping. Does anyone know why? You got a terrible soil there, man. I don't know what's going on, but it won't even grow grass. Shoot. Chinese elm, dark spots around the edges.
Is that leaves or mulch?
Did I not comment on this one? I thought I added a comment. No, I think it's just.
Commented.
No, I think it's burned up grass, man. I think you sprayed an herbicide. Benjamin, did you spray herbicide on your trees? Did you try to get rid of all that grass? Because look at, if you notice, the neighbor's got a little spotty grass over there.
Neighbor's grass looks all green.
Hey, look at that. That's exactly what I was thinking. Michael, once again, you're a gentleman and a scholar. Thanks so much. He's at the Texas ISA conference in Waco right now. I should be there now too, but I'm not because I got a sick wife and kids at home and stuff. And also, I love just hanging out with you guys and talking trees. So Michael's a great guy, though, great arborist, and really glad to have him here. So yeah, that's what I saw is all the grass. It's a new owner who will not be renting it out. I don't know how long it's been vacant. Watering will be required by the tenant under the contract. Okay. Yeah, I think you've got a really toxic soil, dude. You've got to do some things to revamp the soil. This is my favorite way to do that. This is the quickest way to do that. But one thing that you want to do as well. What'd you talk about, Bob?
Wouldn't you want to run holes through it so you could start breaking up that hard dirt?
Yeah, the humic acid will do the same. It'll restructure the clay. Okay. Hey, and I see your comment on here. Thanks so much, Nito the Bandito.
It was a Nito Bandito comment?
Nito the Bandito. Did that one go in there too?
I don't see Benjamin's in his.
My son must be playing games again. This is hilarious. Y'all see this? Matt Latham, go back to school, dude. Do y'all think I have an okay education or no? I think I know a little bit more than give it some water, y'all. Sorry, I'm being rude, aren't I? Bob, you don't know who you're talking to, man.
Wait, what comments? How come I don't see all those comments? You're on adventurers post.
Yeah, I'm just playing now.
Where'd you find that post? I don't see that post anywhere. Benjamin Ryan Flower. That's cool. Did somebody just do that comment and that's why you responded back to it? So well. What the heck's going on here? Oh, I see. Right here.
No, I'm not gonna say that. That's too funny. I love it. I love it when they get all cocky like that. Coming in hot, like you should get an education. Like that's why I got a lot of different educations. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, I think the main thing here, Benjamin, you got to revamp the soil. This I think you've been using herbicide. I think you've been probably not watering enough, or maybe at all. Sounds like it's a new purchase for your client, and they're inheriting some of these problems. But what you want to do is hit that about once a month or so at least. That'll start to really give a good revamping to the soil. If you want to, one thing that you could do, Benjamin, is and this is like one of my favorite things, old farmer's trick. Put a thin layer of compost right on the top layer of the grass in the soil, and that'll actually start to revamp the soil. You're probably going to want to put some either mulch or sod in there too, because it's pretty naked. So anyways, hope that helps, buddy. Moving on. Colorado blue spruce. I have this one that's turning brownish light green color. A few others that are looking the same, but not nearly as bad as this one. Any ideas? Yes, chlorosis is the word for that. I've had a normal year for rainfall. Wisconsin. Cool. Yeah, so Rian, what you're probably, did I pronounce that right, Rian? Oh, Wisconsin. We talked about that. What you're probably experiencing, these are all new trees, right? So I assume they're planted in the past, couple of years, maybe 3 years at the most. And so typically what happens is whenever you put a tree in the ground, whenever you put a tree in the ground, the roots came in a container, and it was either a ball and burlap container. Thank you. And the roots are just having trouble penetrating that new soil, or it was a container grown. And what happened is, I'll go back to the drawing board for this one, Rianne. A lot of times, what'll happen is the roots will start to encircle. So here's your container, here's your tree. And then what happens, the roots get to the edge, and then they'll just start to wrap around, and you get all of these encircling roots, and it becomes what we call root bound, which is never a good thing. So typically what you want to do, believe it or not, is you want to take a knife and just dice up the edges of that root ball when you're planting it, and then pull those roots apart and allow them to spread out into the new soil. It's got to get used to its new home. It's just like a human baby. Is like, it takes a minute, but if you stress it out by not feeding it and not nurturing it, and plus you just give it like all sorts of problematic situations, like you never change its diaper and stuff like that, you're going to wind up with a similar situation. Like, you got to take care of kids and new trees all the same. Here's a quick video that really I think will go a long ways towards helping you out, Ryan. It's called radial trenching, and radial trenching is basically you're just digging trenches on the outside of where that planting container is. And these are very poor drawings of trenches. Let me draw you a different one. So here's your tree looking from the top down. Here's your tree canopy. Here's the root ball that it came in. What you're going to do is dig 6 to 8 inch trenches all the way around that root ball, right from where the edge of it was planted, and then backfill with compost and or mulch. You could throw some of this stuff in there too, which is awesome. That'll go a long ways to really starting to establish a good root system, while giving it some extra resources as well. So the thing is that chlorosis is a nutrient deficiency, and it's typically caused by some sort of a toxic situation. Oops, I'll call you right back, Phyllis. Sorry. I've been a flake to everybody lately.
So after that one, the next couple, I think you answered.
I did. Yeah, I was trying to get to some of these as they came in too, because I feel like I'm always late to the punch.
All pinko is stuff, from what I see.
Yeah, so that our ocean harvest is great stuff. Radial trenching is going to help to get those roots established. That's really important. I think you've got some new trees, and they're just struggling to get established. Like they're in a tight spot, man, literally, or woman. All right, Crystal Cornell. Oh no! I'm sorry, Nito the Bandito. What's up, buddy? Question: I saw a white oak with all leaves of the oak family. Saw a white oak leaf, swamp, and burr. I have a picture somewhere. I'll try to find. How would this happen? Great question. Often it is the leaves are. It's not actually multiple different types of trees. It's actually the leaves are adapting based on their environment. Sometimes herbicides can lead to a toxic scenario where the hormones are disrupted and the leaves don't establish. They don't really grow the way they're supposed to. So you'll see this sometimes with really like cup shaped leaves. Sometimes live oaks will have like serrated edges on them sometimes because of herbicide damage and things like that. But yeah, usually not. It's probably in the white oak family, but it's probably not multiple types. The question is what type. Send me some pictures, and I'll go ahead and drop my email in here. Yeah, shoot that over to me, and I'm happy to take a look at those pictures in person and see if we can identify this tree for you. But yeah, thanks for the great question, man. All right, Crystal was asking, where you at? There's Crystal. What formula fertilizer should I use for Sylvester palm in Florida in a small raised bed on the edge of the driveway? The palm isn't in poor health, just some drooping fronds and a few green folded down, but that could be from squirrel damage. Hard to tell. This is my absolute favorite one, Crystal, is Ocean Harvest. That actually works really well for palms as well, and it gives them plenty of nitrogen. Normally I'm anti-nitrogen, but palms actually need a lot of nitrogen, so not opposed to that, but hope that helps. All right, so what is the best way to treat scale on a tulip tree? Dinotephthalin. Yep, mercilessly. That's my favorite response ever. How do you treat scale on a tulip tree? With no mercy. That's great, my guy. Well done. Yeah, dormant oil is great. It depends how tall it is too. Some of those tulip poplars get huge. I'm assuming tulip poplar, depends where you're at. All right. Yes. And we are, by the way, if y'all, just so you know, we're at almost 3,100. I think it's like 3,820 or 3,082, 3,082. So yeah, we are cranking and cruising, and we're just so glad again that y'all are a part of this community. Thank you, all of you, for being here. JK, Sprouting Arborist, Michael, all you guys are just awesome. So I'm really glad to be here. Okay. So Landon was asking, this is an ongoing conversation we've been having. So let me pull this up and we'll go ahead and look at it a little closer. Where is it at? White Oak Central. Okay. So he sent me a few videos. Lucas and all his fix the problem. So he's showing me these root flares here, and I love what you did there, Landon. That is exactly spot on where it needs to be. No joke. That is like perfect. You did a great job giving that tree a good root flare excavation, or whoever it was you hired. Well done. That is exactly what we're looking for here, you guys. We want to see those root flares, even if it's done wrong, even if they broke ANSI Z 16.1 standard, broke ANSI 300 planting standards. Here you've got it. Here it says they've got it at the nursery. They've got to give it to you with the root flares exposed. They did not on Landon's tree. That they live ANSI 300 standards for tree care. One section in there, you can see entire like 26 specific chapter 10 to planting and transplanting standards. So if you do it right, your tree's got like a 90, 95, 98, even 100% chance of surviving. If you do it wrong, then you're going to wind up with problems. So Landon, let me go back through your pictures a little bit because this is pretty fun. So we've got an extremely stressed tree here, Landon. Now, what I suspect is going to be a big part of your problem, and I could tell me if I'm wrong, I think you got some herbicide damage here, dude. I think somebody's been treating that lawn real nice like. So what I want to do is I want to turn you on to the to more of the organic route to go, because it's got all the benefits and none of the side effects. Because here's the thing, God did it best. When you walk into a forest, nobody planned and nobody landscaped, nobody designed that forest. God did it, right? You got natural things and processes occurring. One of those is a process called nutrient cycling. And I'll go ahead and just give you a real brief demonstration here. Sorry, Lucas, I dropped you. There we go.
No, it's okay. I was actually scrolling down too, because I'm not seeing any of the posts that Women had. I approved for land in there.
Really? Okay, so in the forest, you've got trees. Ooh, fluffy canopy. That's a terrible drawing of a tree, but you get the point. All those leaves and such fall down. So we've got to fall down to the soil. Now within the soil, little microbes. Christine, tell me if that's right or wrong. I don't know. You got microbes that basically break down all of that organic matter. And then they're going to return it back into the tree, which is going to take it up and produce more leaves. We call it nutrient cycling. And I'm going to give it a smiley face because it's really cool. Nutrient cycling is God's way of feeding and fertilizing and taking care of trees. And he does a really good job, way better than us humans. However, Landon, what I've found is if you can recreate that forest floor environment, you're going to have healthy trees just about no matter what. Give the tree what it needs. It's a living biotic organism with really impressive survivability skills built into its DNA. And if you take care of the tree on a health level, just like humans, it's going to live and thrive and be happy and healthy. And then, of course, sometimes you get some pathogens come in here you got to deal with, just like humans. We've all had the flu before. We've all had the common cold before. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind. Is the healthier your soil is, the healthier your tree is. There is a direct correlation between tree health and soil health. So that's the main thing you want to do, dude. Stop worrying about the grass so much, because I think you've been using some weed and feed and some herbicides. But here's the thing, broadleaf unaliver, broadleaf tree. So you got a chemical that's unaliving broadleaf organisms, and you got a tree that happens to be right in the line of fire. This Humates Plus is going to be your absolute best friend. But you can even extend that drip line, that mulch ring rather, out to a little bit further, and hopefully you'll get some good results. But Lucas, you got this one tagged, right? Because I want to make sure Landon gets this. I think he seems pretty committed to.
I just double tagged it. So
yeah, good.
The comment where he's by himself and doesn't have any posts, it's tagged there.
Good.
It's also tagged on the on that one.
You're the best, dude. You're the best. And I lost my place, of course. That's how it goes.
Yeah, Zach Weidendorf.
Zach Weidendorf. I don't even know what day that is. We just scrolling and we scrolling and we scrolling.
Can't go all the way down.
Oh my goodness. This is the worst. One of these days I'm going to get this figured out where I don't waste all of y'all's time hanging out with me. Been there, talked about that. No, and really we're gonna call it here in just a few too. Maybe let's get through like 3 or 5 more, and then we're gonna call it for the evening because it's been a wonderful night, and I've been having a good time hanging out with you guys. Oh my goodness, we're so far behind still.
Yeah, we're catching up.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It looks familiar. All right. I like it. I dig it. Let's keep going. Chinese elm, terrible soil, more terrible soil, more terrible soil. There's some scale. There's 3,000 people.
We're looking for Zach.
What's that?
We're looking for Zach.
Zach Weidendorf. Hi, I'm in Zone 5B and found a weeping willow on the market for 3 years old. I'd love to transfer. For about 3 years old, I'd love to transfer. How could I ensure I don't harm the tree or mitigate as much harm as possible? Also, would renting special equipment be necessary, or would hand tools and natural grit be enough? I think you're fine. 3-year-old tree, yeah, hand tools and a little natural grit. I love it. Let's see what they're saying, though. Good point. Oh yeah, you can transplant that by hand. It's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie. That's a tough one, man. Because it was pretty decent size. Yep. Example: 3-inch caliper tree should have a 30-inch root ball, 10 to 12-inch ball diameter. Yeah, that's a generally pretty good rule. Not to get a hernia, maybe a rental for a forklift or some other machinery will have to make an appearance. No, get your buddies out and some beer. Tree spade would definitely be the easiest, fastest way to transplant a tree of that size. It will dig a new hole for you. Then you just have to deglaze, rough up the sides, use the spade to dig the tree, place it. Make sure not to dig below grade and accidentally plant it too deeply. Very true. Yeah, that would be the easiest, but I think you can do that by hand. You're just going to have to get your buddies and have them out there, and you might have to make some pretty decent sized wounds on that. That's going to be a pain, but very possible. We've done stupider things. It's a word, right? Yeah, hope that helps, man. All right, Barbara's asking, what can I do to help this emerald green? Emerald green, by the way, so arborvitae is like one of the most crazy named tree species I know. They got so many different names for them. There's like eastern white cedar. We just saw northern white cedar on here. We've got Thuja occidentalis is the nomenclature. You've got arborvitae, and now we're up to 4 names, you guys. We've got giant greens. We've got emerald greens. And that's all I can think of, but I'm sure they're all called some other things too. Like, you sorry son of a whatever. All right, so 4 years old. This just started this spring. Can it be saved? What spread of the trees next to it? Doesn't look like a disease per se. It looks like a stress issue to me. Yeah, so if you notice how dense the bottom leaves are, and then it just shoots up there, that shot up growth is what unalived. I don't see any pest or pathogen that would have caused that. I think. I do see it happen very quickly, though. What I'm thinking is that guy never responded to me, did he? I hope he responds.
Look at the very bottom, Gene. There's a little bit of yellow on the bottom of that canopy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a little bit on the bottom. I think you got a watering issue there, Barbara. I think you've got too much water filling the holes. You've got to get it to drain out. And also, it'll fill in, but it's going to take a long time. So it may be better to replace it if you want to keep them all consistent. But I think you could probably get away with doing some things. And if you want to have some fun and experiment a little and try to work that green thumb muscle, then I think that would be a fun little. Let's try to keep it alive.
Staying alive.
All right. Hope that helps. Haley's asking, is this birch going to unalive? I just got it 3 days ago when I went to the nursery to pick it up, and they ripped the roots from the ground. The roots had grown outside of the container and into the ground. Well, that's rude of them. Also, a clear violation of ANSI 60.1 standards, y'all. Hold them accountable. I'll find the text and shoot you a screenshot, Haley, because that's absurd. That's just absurd, you guys. Since then, the workers pulled it out of the ground and ripped the roots. Since then, the leaves have definitely started to unalive, dry out, and curl. Oh, there's an object there. I can't see. I called today, and they said the tree is probably in shock, and it will be fine. And they use a spade to cut the roots, and I asked why they did not use a spade for this tree, and she said I did not have one. That's funny. You're a nursery, and you don't have a spade? And said, if the tree unalives, can I get a replacement? She said, no, they only replace trees that they themselves plant. Not a huge deal to me, though, honestly. I just want to know if it's going to unalive. Not necessarily, no. Water it often. Rooting hormone mix with water. Ooh, I love that. Rooting hormone mix is good. IBA, indole 3 butyric acid is my favorite. Helps create a really dense, nice, healthy root zone. I'm going to start selling that here in a minute. I don't know that there were any. The roots were able to grow like 2 or 3 feet outside the container. They told me to plant those roots as well. So that's what I did. What? No, I think it's okay. Yeah, roots that circled inside the container wouldn't be visible. I've used a box cutter knife to slice and remove the container and allow those escaped roots to be preserved. Me too. If many large roots were cut, transplant shock might be lasting. Guy Mayer, dang. Yeah, but you can always give it some extra. Okay, so they mentioned IBA is a really good one. You can find that anywhere. It's a pretty common rooting hormone. Hey, baby girl. I love you, little lady. I'm on the phone right now. Yeah, I'll be on in a minute, okay? Okay, I love you, baby. That's my little one. Yeah. All right. So yeah, hope that helps. Yeah, it stinks, but I think you can make it work, but you're just gonna have to make sure the drainage is good, make sure that it's getting all the resources that it needs, and that ocean harvest will go a long ways there. So hope that helps. We're moving on. Our native Central Texas black walnut trees are struggling. Any clue what I'm dealing with? Yeah, that's shelf fungus. That is pecan scab, maybe? Could be. Some sort of fungus. Could be Phytophthora too. Looks a little Phytophthora-y. Yeah. Fungus.
Having like 2 different things wrong with the tree, 2 different bacteria, fungi.
Yeah, you can have multiple things.
Scary. Redbeard says, no elaboration.
What?
Nothing. He said Ganoderma.
That's not Ganoderma. No, not Ganoderma. Bold-faced fly, fungal conch. Looks like black knot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Black knot. Okay. Inonotus is the Inonotus striatus. That could be. That looks like Inonotus striatus to me. The main thing is you got to make sure it's not a structural risk. That's faux show, because that'll break. Inonotus striatus. You got some fungal issues going on. Brandy, I need you to take some pictures, and I need you to send them pictures, not just of the tree itself, like up close where the damage is. I need you to send me some far away. I think you've got, oh, dang it. Did I do it again? We're going to call that for the night then. That's our last one, you guys. Woohoo. I'm over here just pushing buttons like a maniac.
I know.
You freaking psycho.
Looks like you're still on the contract.
What's that?
Like, there's
Talk.
a delay on the website online, so it's like.
Yeah, I hate that, don't you? Oh my goodness, we're going back to like last night's work. I'm gonna have to get like a.
We already passed last night's work. We're catching up to last week.
Almost there. Here we are. Yeah, to me, it looks like inonotistritis. It could, but what I think, Brandy, is going on is not just that. I think you've got a systemic issue in the soil. That's what's going to be the main issue here. Spray this on about once a month onto the soil, all surrounding the tree, and then spray this on. I would not go once a month. I would go maybe once every 3 months, and then spray this on once a month on the soil, and that will go a long ways to keeping it healthy. The only thing you're going to need is you're going to need some extra blackstrap molasses or cooking molasses. That's going to be really important to give it an extra resource. Oh, and you want to mix it really well with the Microlife Liquid AF with that blackstrap molasses, because the molasses will actually feed the microbes. Those will go to town, eat the fungus, and help to create a healthy bioculture in the soil, which, again, y'all that know me, healthy soil equals a healthy tree, generally speaking. So that, I think, Lucas, you good with that being a night for now? Yeah. Let's call it, you guys. Hey, thank you all so much for being here. I know you've been hanging out and having a good time. We've been just talking trees, and y'all, I really appreciate the support. Do me a favor, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the like button. That really helps to push the algorithms out there and get these things out there a little bit more. If you saw here, our channel is growing like weeds, you guys. I think just in the past couple of days, we've had, there's another subscriber while we were talking. It was 654 just a minute ago. So we're growing by leaps and bounds, you guys, and it's all because of you guys. Yeah, Jay, Sprout, thank you guys so much for being here. We just really appreciate that. That helps motivate me to go out there and keep doing cool stuff like this for you guys. So really appreciate you guys. I know I probably don't say it enough, but y'all are awesome, and we're just really glad to have you a part of this community. So let me know when you do decide to get certified, Sprout, and we'll get you on here one day. As a grown person, once you're done with school and all that, you become a certified arborist. Man, I'd love to have you on here as a guest on the show. So, hey, thank you guys so much again. Again, for those of you that are really looking to learn a little bit more, if you head over here to the guides, we're going to be updating it just about daily over the next few weeks, but essentially doing these guides for you guys where, look, check this out. Guide number 1, tree diseases. Is your oak at risk? The truth about oak wilt in trees, hypoxylin canker, fall webworms. By the way, we just looked at this one, which is inonotistriatis. We're going to do one of those. We nicknamed it the climber, Killer, climber with a K. So yeah, that to me looks like inonotistriatis, but it could be something different. It could be black knot fungus as well, but I don't think so because it's wrong species. But essentially we're creating a whole database of just really good content for you guys, and we'll be referencing that as a resource to help speed these little live streams along a little bit too. So we got a long ways to go, but we are, like I said, I'm uploading about daily more of these videos, and we're just trying to pump them out as quick as possible. I got about 50 videos that I want to do. Each of them are about 2 to 3 to 5 minutes. So that'll just be another great resource for you guys to be able to use to your advantage. And again, thank you all so much for being here. If you have questions, feel free to hit us up on the web at arboristondemand.com. That is our main page. And that's my company. That's what we do, is telemedicine for trees. I work with a lot of insurance agents, a lot of attorneys we talked about. And then for those of you at home that really just need a good qualified arborist to give you a great opinion, we offer this digital arborist tree consultation for you as well. And if you want a closer look, we're happy to help that. Just go to the website, click the button. That'll give you a little form to fill out and give you time to schedule it and all that. So, hey, thanks so much again. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great weekend. Bye.